Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Hello my dear students. Today we will be taking up this poem, The Shed. You all must be knowing what a shed is. A shed is a place where the animals are kept, where we can use it as a place where we can store things, in the backyard probably. So let's read. Do you know what a shed is? A cow shed, a tool shed, a wood shed for example. So shed can be many types, a cow shed, a tool shed or a wood shed. It's a small room away from the main house for storing or keeping things, animals, tools, vehicles, etc. Any place which is just away from the house, however, in the vicinity, in that particular area, in that particular boundary, that area, a small room where we can keep the animals, we can keep our waste, whatever is not in regular use, not waste as in the waste of the house. No, the things which we do not use regularly, we can keep that in the shed. That particular place is called as shed.
Ask your partner if she or he has ever seen a shed.
Let her or him describe it to the class. Now we can discuss it with our friends or siblings if we have seen the shed, and if we have, then a description is needed. We can discuss how it looked like, where did we see it, whatever was there in the shed and all that. Let's read the poem. There is a shed at the bottom of our garden with a spider's web hanging across the door. The hinges are rusty and creak in the wind. When I'm in bed, I lie and I listen. I'll open that door one day. So what happens here? The speaker is saying, he's telling that there is a shed at the bottom of our garden. In the garden, in their house, there is a garden, and at the bottom of the garden, there is a shed with a spider's web hanging across the door. Generally in these areas where the sheds are there are spider webs because the items are stored there. Probably animals, probably vehicles, probably some tools, probably some wastes of the house, and that area is not visited regularly, not cleaned regularly. So the spiders make webs there. So the speaker says that there is a shed at the bottom of his garden and there is a spider web which hangs across the door of the shed. The hinges are rusty and creak in the wind. The hinges. Do you know what the hinges are? Hinges are the, there's a door. Suppose there's a door where the door is attached. The border where the door is attached, there are small, this kind of, iron bolts. You can see iron bolts. That is hinges. This is a door. And at the sides of the door, it is attached with these kind of iron things. These are the hinges. The hinges are rusty. Rusty as in iron gets rust. We all know. So the hinges are rusty because of their structure which is made up of iron. They are rusty and creak in the wind. When the wind blows, it makes noise. Whenever the door opens and the wind blows, so the door opens, shuts. So that opening and shutting, the hinges, they make weird kind of noise. Okay? When I'm in bed, I lie and I listen. So he says, when I'm in bed, probably in the nights or in the afternoons when I'm taking a nap, or in the night when I'm sleeping, I lie and I listen. I just lie on the bed and I listen to that creaking sound of those hinges. I'll open that door one day. He says that someday I'll open that door and go inside the shed and see what's there. I'll open that door one day. See, this is a shed at the bottom of his garden. There's a dusty old window around at the side with 3 cracked panes of glass. I often think There's someone staring at me each time that I pass. I'll peep through that window one day. So now what happens? The speaker says there's a dusty old window. Since that shed is very old, the hinges are rusty, the spider webs are there, and there's an old window in the shed which is dusty. Because of the wind, because of not being taken care of the shed, the window is all very dusty. Around at the side, there's a window at the side of the shed with 3 cracked panes of glass. There's a glass in the window which is cracked. 3 panes of glass are cracked. I often think there's someone staring at me. The speaker thinks that there's somebody inside the shed who's hiding and staring at me each time that I pass. Whenever he passes the shed, he feels that somebody is just staring past that window at him. I'll peep through that window one day. He says that someday I'll peep inside the shed from that window which has 3 cracked panes of glass. To see if actually somewhere somebody is there inside the window or not, the shed or not. My brother says there's a ghost in the shed who hides under the rotten floorboards, and if I ever dare to set foot inside, he'll jump out and chop off my head, but I'll take a peek one day. So the speaker says that his brother has told him that there is a ghost in the shed. Do you think there are ghosts? Well, I don't think so. Ghosts don't exist. I don't believe in ghosts. Anyway, coming back to the poem, the speaker's brother says that there's a ghost in the shed. You must not go there. There's a ghost who lives in the shed, who hides under the rotten floorboards. Since the shed is very, very old, there are wooden floorboards, on the floor there is wooden, the floor is wooden. Wooden flooring we call it. So wooden floor is rotten because it's very old and the shed, nobody takes care of the shed. So that ghost, he hides under that rotten floorboard. And if I ever dare to set foot inside, he'll jump out and chop off my head. So the speaker says that his brother has told him, if you ever dare to go inside that shed, that ghost will come up, he will, jump at you, he'll snap at you, and he'll chop your head off. But I'll take a peep one day. But the speaker says, the poet says, that I will surely going to peek inside that shed someday. Because he wanted to know, he was curious, he wanted to know what exactly is there in that shed. I know that there isn't really a ghost. My brother tells lies to keep the shed for his den. There isn't anyone staring or making strange noises, and the spider has been gone from his web. The speaker says, though I know the truth, my brother is lying to me. I know that there is no ghost. There isn't, no ghost is there. He doesn't believe that. He knows that his brother is telling all lies. Why? Because he wants that shed to be his own secret point, his own secret area, where he can only just come and, hide or play or, hide things. So it is his secret area. He doesn't want the speaker to come there. So he says, I know that my brother is lying to me. There is no one staring from that particular window, or there is no one who is making strange noises from the shed. Even the spider webs are empty, as in there is no spiders there. Even the spiders are gone. There is just nobody there inside the shed. My brother lies to me. Since I don't know when, I'll go into that shed one day soon. He says, I really do not know. My brother has been lying to me since such a long time. I don't know since when. But for sure, I am going to take a peek inside that shed someday, really soon. But not just yet. He says, but not now. For some time, I'll wait, and then someday, when I will plan, when I'm mentally prepared, when I'll see the opportunity, I will surely going to peek inside the shed. This poem is written by Frank Flynn. I hope you've understood the poem. This poem is about the shed. In the speaker's house, the shed is there at the bottom of the garden. That shed has a window which is dusty and the panes of glass are broken. The old door of the glass, the old door of that particular shed, the hinges of that door are rusty because they are very old. Nobody takes care of that particular shed. Nobody maintains it. There are spider webs inside. The speaker really thinks sometimes that when he passes through passes across the shed, he thinks that somebody is staring from that window at him when he passes across it. And he says that his brother has already told him that there is a ghost inside. And that ghost, if the speaker wants to, if he dares to go inside the shed, that ghost will come up on him and he'll chop his head. So the speaker says, for sure, I am going to enter the shed because I know my brother lies, because he wants that particular shed as a secret place, as his den. So one day, I will surely go inside the shed to see what exactly there is. Though I know that there is nothing, there is no ghost, not even the spiders. Nobody makes noise. Nobody peeps through the window. But as of now, I'll wait and someday I will surely go inside. Okay? Let's come to the exercise.
We'll be doing working with the poem now. Question 1. Answer the following questions. Part 1. Who is the speaker in the poem? So what do you think? Who is the speaker? The poet himself is the speaker in the poem. So the answer will be the poet is the speaker.
Second, is she or he afraid or curious or both? The speaker is afraid or curious to go inside of the shed. What do you think? He is afraid or both? He is both afraid and curious as he wants to step inside the shed. He is afraid for sure because he says, I will go there someday, but not as of now. But he is curious, he wants to know. That is why every time he is saying, I'll peep in through the window for sure. I will enter the door, I will open the door for sure. Someday he wants to do it, but he is not sure when because he is afraid probably. The third answer, what is she or he planning to do soon? He is planning to take a peep in the shed one day soon. Okay? So what is he or she planning to do soon? He is planning to take a peep in the shed one day soon. Coming to the next question. But not just yet. Suggests doubt, fear, hesitation, laziness or something else. Choose the word which seems right to you. Tell others why you chose it. In the end, when the speaker says, I will peep in the shed one day, but not just yet. So this feeling, but not just yet, it suggests what? Doubt, fear, hesitation, laziness, or something else. Whatever word you choose, whatever feeling you choose, you have to describe it and tell it to the others. So the answer would be, what do we feel? He is lazy, he is doubtful, he is scared, he is hesitant. What do you feel? What is he?
The poet shows fear in his mind as well as he is hesitant to go inside the shed. His brother has made him doubtful that there is a ghost in the shed. So this is the answer for question number 3. The poet shows fear in his mind as well as he is hesitant to go inside the shed. His brother has made him doubtful that there is a ghost in the shed.
Coming to the next question. Is there a room in your house or a house in your neighborhood or locality where you would rather not go alone and never at night? If there's such a place and a story to go with it, let others hear all about it. I'm sure we all have listened to such spooky stories either by our friends or neighbors or our grandparents especially. Or probably we would have, heard stories from the neighborhood, or we would have seen a house or a particular area where we are not allowed to go, where the elders or other people tell us that you should not go to this particular place, especially at night, because this place is haunted or there are spooky stories related to this place. Correct? We all must have heard about it. So you have to write describe about that particular place and whatever is the story attached to it. I'll give you an example. You can frame your own story. I am giving you an example of my story. The answer would be, in our locality, there is a primary school in which a basement has been made to gather the waste things like blackboard, chalks, dusters, tables, chairs, bricks, and even the torn charts. Nobody is allowed to enter there as it is supposed to be haunted by some evil spirit. The basement has some strange kind of smell and a few rats can be found running here and there. A strange noise is often heard from the basement. Getting in such a place is an adventure. I'll go there someday, but not today. So this is the story what I have written. I'll read it for you. You can write your own spooky stories or about a particular location or a house where you think that that particular area or place is haunted, and it has some kind of ghostly stories attached to it. Let me read this one for you. In our locality, there is a primary school in which a basement has been made to gather the waste things like blackboard, chalks, dusters, tables, chairs, bricks, and even the torn charts. Nobody is allowed to enter there, as it is supposed to be haunted by some evil spirits. The basement has some strange kind of smell, and a few rats can be found running here and there. A strange noise is often heard from the basement. Getting in such a place is an adventure. I'll go there someday, but not today. Alright? And I hope that you have understood this poem, The Shed, and have liked it. It is nice to hear spooky stories from here and there. So enjoy listening to the spooky stories and share with your family and friends and write a good paragraph for answer number 2. With this we end it. I hope you've understood and loved the chapter. Alright kids, we'll see you again with a new chapter soon. Till then, enjoy.